that freedom comes responsibilities. Hi there, my name is Karis. If you're new to my channel, I do videos over college, lifestyle, beauty, natural hair, and just stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of those topics, I would go ahead and subscribe down below so you are notified every time I post new videos. So a little about me before we start the video. I am a junior at Lincoln Christian University. It's a very small school in Central Illinois. I'm studying business administration and I play volleyball there, so I'm a student athlete. I'm also an RA. RA stands for residence assistant, so I'm kind of like in charge of the girls on our floor with a co-RA. So I know a lot about the college life and have a lot of tips and tricks I would love to share with you all to make your college transition easier for you. So all that being said, today I am here to talk about the major differences between high school and college. I was super nervous going into my freshman year of college because I was so familiar with high school but had no idea what college was going to be like. So I really hope this video can kind of help you understand the major differences between high school and college and just how to get prepared for your college years. I've actually already released a few other college related videos and I really think you're gonna find those videos helpful as well. So after this one, make sure you go check out those videos. They will be in the description down below, or you can click on the eye right above your screen and you should be able to see all of those videos listed on there. To make it a little easier for you all to follow along, I'm going to be breaking down the sections in this video into 4 different sections. I'm going to be talking about school, social life, lifestyle, and then just little miscellaneous things that you should know. So starting with school, the professors will not baby you like the teachers in high school did. So what I mean by that is the professors will not be reminding you when the next homework assignment is due, when the next exam is going to be, or anything like that. Yes, occasionally there will be professors who will be more proactive in letting you know when things are coming up. However, a lot of times the college professors just kind of expect you to be an adult and remember those things yourself, which means syllabi are super important. You can't just throw them away like we normally do when we're in high school. They actually matter because that's how you know when your next test or when your next homework assignment is due. And if you do forget to turn in your homework assignments, I know in high school a lot of times the teachers are like, hey, it's okay, you can just turn it in another time. It's not quite like that in college, and I'm not going to say it's never like that in college because sometimes you can talk to the professors and they will work with you depending on the situation, but a lot of times you either turn it in or you don't. So another thing when it comes to school is the schoolwork can be a lot more time consuming and you actually kind of have to study for the tests. So I had a lot of friends in high school who just kind of flew by high school without ever having to take any homework home and ever really having to study for tests. And I was not one of those people, unfortunately. I've always kind of had to work hard in school, but that actually really helped me be more prepared for college because I had already set some good studying habits from high school. So if you're one of those who haven't really had to try that hard in high school, you might have to work harder at learning how to actually study and how to make time to do your homework. So another huge difference between high school and college is if you don't want to, you don't have to go to classes. Now, I wouldn't recommend on that if you want to graduate, but I know in high school, if you didn't make it to class, your parents would get notified and the school would try to get you to come back to classes. But that really isn't the case with college. They're not gonna call your parents letting them know that you didn't make it to class or anything like that. So if you don't wanna go to classes, you don't have to. The last thing I want to share in this category is when it comes to college, you actually get to choose your classes. So I know in high school, maybe you got a few options, but overall you pretty much had to take a certain amount of classes in order to graduate. That's not really the case in college. Yes, you do have to take your gen ed, but after that you pretty much get to just take the classes you need for your major, which is super exciting because you're learning stuff that you actually care about. And on top of that, you can also choose when to take those classes. So if you're not much of a morning person, you don't have to take those classes in the morning and so on. So that is probably one of the best things about college is you're learning stuff that you actually care about. Okay, so moving on to social life, the difference between high school social life and college social life. And the very first thing that stood out to me personally was there was significantly less drama in college than there was in high school. Now, this kind of depends on your situation. So I personally went to a very small high school where everybody knew everyone. And then my first semester of college, I went to a school where it was a little bigger and people just didn't really know one another and just didn't really care about your drama or your life because they didn't know you, which is nice because if they don't know you, then they don't know your drama. However, the school I transferred to, it's a little bit smaller and it's just more of a tight-knit community. Therefore, everybody kind of knows everyone. So I think in that instance, there could be more drama, but I personally haven't experienced any of it. I really don't feel like college students are as drawn into the drama as high school students are. But again, this is all just based on my experience. Another difference between high school and college is I personally think it's easier to make friends in college than in high school, because in high school you have known each other forever, you went to school with one another, and so it's a little hard to break away from like a group of friends and try to make new friends because you're already in that little circle, and it's just hard to get out of circles in high school. But in college, it's not like that. You didn't grow up with one another, so it's just easier to meet new people and become friends, and you don't feel so tied down to one particular groups of people. But once again, this is just based on my experience. This might not be the case for everybody. Okay, super quickly, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and then go ahead and subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this in the future. I do plan on creating a lot more college content, so if you're interested in that, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Moving on to the lifestyle differences between high school and college, and the number one difference is you have so much more freedom when you move to college than you did in high school. But with that freedom comes responsibilities. So you're not gonna have your parents there telling you to go to class, telling you to wake up at a certain time, telling you to get your homework done. You're not going to have your teachers down your throat trying to get you to turn in your homework. You are literally in charge of your life. And yes, that's very appealing. However, it is very important you are mature enough to decide to make the right decisions. So enjoy the freedom, but don't be crazy and do stupid things that you are going to regret later on. So another huge difference between high school and college when it comes to lifestyle is food. This was one I never really thought of before moving to school. So as freshmen, you would probably most likely be on the meal plan, which is great and all, but a lot of times eating in the cafeteria just gets old. And I noticed my freshman year, my friends and I would go out to eat a lot, and we would normally do fast food because that was what was cheaper. However, that is not the healthiest diet to stick to. So my recommendation to you is just learn how to make little snacks and meals where you don't have to necessarily cook for hours, but something that could just like hold you over so that you're not always going out to eat. So I touched up a little bit on this earlier, but another huge lifestyle differences between high school and college is that in college you have so much more control over your schedule. When you were in high school, you had to go to classes at a certain time, but in college you are in charge of what time you want to take those classes. And again, if you don't want to take morning classes, you don't have to. What I like to do is I love to get my classes out of the way in the morning time, and then in the evening I have time to socialize, to do my homework, volleyball, and I also work whenever I'm not in volleyball. So it's just really nice to just get everything over with in the morning and then having my afternoons off. So yeah, that is one of the biggest pros of college, is that you are kind of in charge of your own schedule. Okay, so moving on to miscellaneous. This category is where I share with you just random bits of information that you probably have not even thought of. And the very first one is banking. So if you're currently banking with a bank that is like a small town bank that doesn't have mobile banking, which most banks do, but not all banks, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and open a bank account so that you can do online banking, because you don't want to get to school, get a job, and then find out you can't even put the money into your account because you don't have mobile banking. Another thing you might not have thought of is that maybe you should go ahead and find a hairstylist or a barber. This idea comes from a friend. So he had a really hard time finding a barber when he got to school, and he didn't want to wait till he went home to get a haircut. So I recommend maybe going ahead and like searching for hairstylists or barbers at your college hometown. Another thing you probably have not thought about is that your mom is probably not going to call and schedule all your appointments for you. So I know that I had some friends who have always just kind of had their mom schedule all their appointments for them, and then they got to college and they're like, oh dang it, I don't want to call my own doctor to schedule a doctor's appointment and so on. So just kind of keep in mind that you are having to kind of grow up and make your own appointments, so maybe prepare yourself a little bit. And speaking of doctors, go ahead and try to find like a hospital or a clinic near your school that you can go to, just in case you ever do get sick and have to go see a doctor. But overall, yes, there is a huge difference between high school and college, but I promise you, you are not alone in feeling stressed and anxious. There are so many people around you feeling the same exact way. However, I promise it gets easier. As you go through your first semester, it will get so much easier and you will figure it out. So that is it for today. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and then subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. I want this channel to be a place where you can come to seek for more help and for more information when you're feeling lost and confused. You can also just message me on Instagram if you ever have any questions. I will link my Instagram in the description down below. I'm also super active on my Instagram, so if you do follow me, you'll be able to see a little bit more about what I'm up to every day. Lastly, don't forget to check out those videos I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So if you just want to check out one of these videos, that'd be awesome. I really think you'll find them helpful. But until next time, bye!